In 2023, I rode 60 new roller coasters, bringing my overall count up to 127. I rode coasters from parks all over the country, from Lagoon to Six Flags Fiesta Texas, Luna Park to Silver Dollar City, and today I want to go through these new credits. These are my new credits of 2023, ranked. 9 of these credits are Kiddie Coasters and therefore won't be ranked. This includes Sea Serpent at Dino's Wonder Wheel, Minnie Mouse and Circus Coaster at Luna Park, Canyon Blaster at Magic Mountain, Frankie's Mine Train at Frontier City, Wile E. Coyote's Grand Canyon Blaster at Over Texas, Puff the Magic Dragon at Lagoon, and Family Flyer and Kiddie Coaster at Rye Playland. Anyway, to the actual list. So bottom of the list is easily the Tickler at Coney Island's Luna Park. For a spinning coaster, this thing is really inconsistent with the spinning. Half the ride you get a decent amount of spinning and the other half you're just waiting for something interesting to happen. Not to mention this thing is just rough. There's a double up in the middle of the ride that's straight up painful. This is a ride I'm not in a rush to get back to. I'm not someone who just hates every boomerang. I enjoyed Flashback for what it was, but Fiesta Texas's boomerang is painful. Even with the vest restraints, it's headache inducing. The track work causes the worst rattle I've ever experienced. It's photogenic, sure, but a much better ride could take up its spot, especially in a higher tier park like Fiesta. When they decide to get rid of their countless mediocre clones, I hope this is the first to go. Lagoon's Family Suspended Coaster is one of their weaker rides, to put it lightly. It had some headbanging, not as bad as expected, but Vekoma's track work leads to a really shaky ride. They've shown with Phoenix that this model can work, but the Bat isn't one of those examples. Lagoon's Wild Mouse is the best one I've been on, but it's not something I'd rush back to. Not too painful, no trims, which is great, but just not my type of ride. Steel Lasso is a harmless ride. Fun for the kids, but I'm personally looking for something just a little more thrilling. Luna Park's newest coaster is a solid Zamperla family coaster. It doesn't pull any crazy forces as expected, but it's glass smooth and a ton of fun. Fire in the Hole is Silver Dollar City's classic dark ride roller coaster hybrid. While it didn't offer much thrill-wise, its theming is really fun and the splashdown is great. Also one of my first major defunct credits. Jetstar 2 is interesting to say the least. I got 2 rides on it, and this Planet Coaster Abomination is one of the more memorable credits of the year. Honestly, I wouldn't mind getting back on it soon. My first ride on one of these models, and it's nowhere near as bad as I was expecting. The trains are horrible, yeah, but the layout and the ride overall weren't half bad. Maybe I got lucky, and you could call me crazy, but I would ride again. I did a full video on the Boss. Roughest coaster I've ever ridden. Amazing layout, wasted by some of the worst track work I've ever seen. This ride has amazing theming in the station, but it becomes just another Premier launch coaster after that. A rather weak one, but still fun. Probably the weakest of the Schwarzkopf loopers I've been on, but it's still really fun. You can never go wrong with Schwarzkopf, but it's hard to appreciate when Shockwave is only 2 hours south. Arrow Mine Trains are always a blast, and River King Mine Train fits right in. It's a nice and long ride with a great setting. The Shredder is a fun ride. It doesn't hold a torch to the Pandemonium clones, but it's fun. Don't expect anything crazy, but it is worth a ride. Bambora is a shockingly great in-house family coaster. It's fast-paced and decently forceful. One of the best family coasters I've ridden. Boomerang at St. Louis is everything I love about boomerangs done right. It's forceful and painless, the track work is significantly better than Fiesta's, and even with the old trains it didn't give any headbanging. I would ride it again any day. This ride was shockingly fun. The launch is decent and it felt like a great evolution from the disco flat rides while still feeling like an actual coaster. I did not get the spinning side, so I imagine I'd like it even more if I did. I would really love to have this at my home park. This classic wooden coaster is pure fun, smooth as hell and plenty of ride time. It doesn't pull any crazy forces, but it's just so fun. My second GCI was a solid ride, a little rough but I didn't mind. It has a fun twister layout and is packed with some decent airtime. One of the biggest surprises of the year was how good this coaster was. It was a bit shaky, but it was fun throughout the entire ride with a shockingly powerful launch. Fiesta Texas's Arrow Mine Train is one of the most unique. It's got some crazy banking, a ton of drops off the quarry wall, and my little brother loved it.
Hands up! Hands up!
No, I'm done.
You like it? You like it?
I was almost dead.
You almost died?
Yes.
You like it?
Oh, no.
No?
Another classic wooden coaster, and this one's one of my favorites. It's smooth, full of airtime and decent laterals, and it's just the right length. I also got the Lagoon roller coaster rollback credit. How many of you can say that? Another Aero mine train, and this one is one of the best. Non-stop action until the end. Decent airtime, great laterals, and a great drop to finish off the ride. Another classic wooden coaster, and this one feels illegal. It's got some decent airtime, an insane turnaround, and is just a fun and out of control experience. It really complements Frontier City's already solid lineup. Another surprise hit. Slime Streak is glass smooth, has great pacing, and is just pure fun till the end. A great coaster for all ages. Phoenix took me by surprise. I wasn't expecting one of my favorites at Coney Island to be this family coaster. It's intense, it's smooth, and it's a great example of what the modern suspended coaster can do. I've been on the clone in years past, but a new credit is a new credit, and this one is by far the best of the Pandemoniums I've ridden. This dark ride coaster hybrid was one of the most memorable experiences from the year. The multiple endings make it very re-rideable, and both drop tracks are amazing in their own right. Possibly the best family coaster I've ever ridden. The Spider is pure chaos. It's everything I love about Pandemonium dialed up to 11. Easily the best standard spinning coaster model. It's intense, disorienting, and is one of my favorites at Lagoon. Powder Keg is a solid ride. Great launch, powerful airtime, but it's hard to ignore the rattle. Definitely something I'd revisit if it decided to stay open. Thunderbolt has an amazing layout that's ruined by shaky track work in some of the worst trains in the industry, but it's definitely worth a ride or two. That vertical launch is something you don't find everywhere. And this ride sure starts with a bang, but the downgrade that is the second half really holds it back. One of the most overhated rides I've ever had the pleasure of experiencing. Great drop, solid inversions, a little rough on the edges, but it's full of that classic Aero charm. Some of Aero's best work. Great airtime both forwards and backwards, and an incredibly forceful loop. Frontier City has a simple but memorable winner on its hands. My first dive coaster did not disappoint. That 95 degrees was definitely felt, and it runs great through its layout. What a pleasant surprise. This massive PTC coaster is on the rougher side, but it's packed with airtime and great laterals, more than making up for it. One of St. Louis's best. Best floorless coaster? No, but still a great ride that dives on and off the quarry wall. I could use without the rattle though. The smallest of the PTCs I've ridden, but by far my favorite. Judge Roy Scream is everything you'd want in a classic wooden coaster. Airtime, laterals, and a beautiful setting next to the lake. Not a new credit, but a new experience. Mr. Freeze going forward is weaker than in reverse, but it's still no joke. Glass smooth, intense, and one of the best coasters in the state of Texas. For a ride building up to the drop is really underwhelming. Other than that, Shellraiser is packed with positive G's, great inversions, and a great launch. Another ride all about the drop, this one actually delivers. Great drop, great inversions, packed with positive G's. Cannibal is worthy of the hype. This compact, intimate launch coaster is whippy, intense, and has 2 laps. Getting to go forwards and backwards on the same cycle makes Sandy very memorable. After 3 years of delays, Aquaman Power Wave made a splash with the general public. Everything about this ride is a plus. Its amazing capacity, its launches and spikes, and of course that splashdown. Aquaman caught me by surprise. Once again, you can never go wrong with a Schwarzkopf, and besides Shockwave, Colossus might be the best one. It's got a solid drop, 2 intense inversions, and it's packed with positive G's. This ride is a rush from start to finish. Most overhated B&M by far, even with its parking lot setting. Scream packs in a ton of positive G's, especially in the second half, where the mid-course barely slows you down. The rattle is greatly exaggerated, and this ride is a blast. Great inversions, solid airtime, definitely needs to warm up though. The double barrel roll is worth it though. Shockingly forceful, packed with positive G's and rapid fire inversions, as well as an airtime filled drop. You can never go wrong with 90s B&M. Of all the Bat clones I've ridden, St. Louis takes the cake for most intense. Non-stop positive G's, it's disorienting, not to mention it having the definitive Batman color scheme. Everything great about Mr. Freeze but dialed up to 11 and backwards. Packed with positive G's, non-stop action, and the best vertical spike on any coaster. One of the most unique coasters I've ridden. Insane drop out of the station filled with hang time, a bit of airtime, and spinning. Easily one of America's best. The best coaster in Texas, Iron Rattler, is packed with airtime as it dives on and off the quarry wall. not to mention featuring two of the best drops in the world. Iron Rattler is an adrenaline rush from start to finish and is some of RMC's best work to date. But that's all I got. If you like this video, you will love my video on the 5 credits that shot up in 2023 and the 5 that shot down. That should be popping up in the card right now. I'll see you there.